Yo, what is up everybody? Kevin here. Welcome to the Snowboard Pro Camp live chat. Coming to you guys today from Portugal. So stoked to be on here with you guys, talk about snowboarding, talk about the new GoPro 9 leak. I don't know if you guys have seen that come out, but GoPro has, there's been some leaks come out about the next GoPro 9. And also talk to you guys more about some of the upcoming season, new rules, things in effect for the upcoming snowboard season. So yeah, stoked to talk to you guys about all that kind of stuff. Yeah, great to be here with you guys. If you guys have any questions about snowboarding, hit me up. And yeah, just happy to be on here with you guys. And yeah, just let me know, yeah, if you guys have any beginner questions, gear questions, anything at all. Yeah, just I'm happy to answer. So far we've already got 63 people in the chat, 16 likes, already got some of the OGs. If you guys don't know, I'm over, so at the moment I'm in Europe and I think it's about just after 8:30 p.m. So if you are in North America, the chat's a little bit more early than normal, but thank you guys all for tuning in anyway. So we've got a few shout outs before we get started with the questions to some of the people who turned up early. We got Lucas, we got Ziddy, we've got, oh, Ziddy is talking a bunch on here. We got Owen, thanks for tuning in early, guys. We got Matthias, El Stacker is on here, of course. We got Preek, we got Stoke Dog 8, we got Bad Riders. Adam wants to play a game. Where in the world is Kevin? That's a tough game, man. We got Bad Riders on here. We got Red's Cap on here. What's up, Reggie? Reggie asking, yeah, not back in Whistler, man. Still over in Europe. So at the moment I'm in Portugal. Next week I'm going to be in Switzerland, and then early October I'm going to be in Austria. So going to keep you guys updated on everything that's going on, but we've got some days of snowboarding coming up soon. Awesome, guys. All right, let's see who's got the first question. Marcus wants to know, do you think Blue Mountain will be open in January? Yeah, I think a lot of the mountains will open. So Blue Mountain is a mountain in Canada on the east part, I believe, if I'm thinking of the same Blue Mountain. And yeah, I think the resorts will open, but they're going to be open with new rules, like for the social distancing, keeping people 6 feet apart, limited numbers of people on chairlifts and gondolas, and also like the on-hill chalets and things where you get food. There may be limited amount of seating or things like that, and then also the whole reservation system in place. So I've been trying to learn as much as possible, and talking to some of our friends here on the chat too have given me some really good info. Adam and Chuck down in Australia have given me some awesome information. They've gone through it in the Australia season already, so getting some feedback from them has been amazing. But yeah, learning about what to expect and trying to come up with a plan to have like the best possible season with the most snowboarding, because there's a very good possibility with everything that's going on that you could find yourself, you know, like losing money if you buy a season's pass and then not get to use it very much because of the reservation process, or you know, maybe the season ending early. So trying to avoid anything like that where you end up wasting money. So hopefully we can actually have an even better season than ever if we plan it right and we do all the right things. So gonna try to hopefully pull that off. We'll see what happens. But yeah, man, I think the resorts will open. I don't think anything will open early, but I'm sure if things have snow, things should open on time. Elliot wants to know, what are some of the best snowboard bibs? Best snowboard bibs. I've had some good and bad luck with snowboard bibs. A recent pair that I've gotten, oh man, I don't want to mention those. My last pair of snowboard bibs kind of like turned me off of bibs, so I've been back to the pants. But I feel like with snowboard bibs, it's a little bit more tricky because of the fit. So you really need to try them on yourself. But the pair I had, the Volcom Rain Gore-Tex bibs were actually really good, very comfortable, light to wear. And then before that, I had a Dakine pair. I think they're called the Dakine Y East bib, which are Gore-Tex as well, and they were good. So yeah, check out those two pairs. Those two pairs are really good. Oh man, everyone's on here saying what's up. We got Ellie J with a trick, some trick question. Hey Kevin, how do you approach a series of jumps? Any tips on execution on landings? Yeah, so for jumps, check out, there's a video I made recently on the channel where I talk about tips for hitting jumps. But I think you definitely want to watch other people do it first so you can see the speed. Start small, obviously, and then find that, see that spot where you know, how fast you need to take it. So the last time I hit a new set of jumps, I could see where everyone started to really point their board straight towards the kicker, and that was giving me a good idea of how much speed I needed. So yeah, looking where other people are taking speed from. And I also like to be pretty flat based when I'm taking off, but maybe a slightly with a slight amount of toe pressure. That helps for a level takeoff. And then when you do take off for the jumps, your hands are gonna want to be over top of the nose and tail of your board so that you're riding sideways, lined up. Bend your knees in the air. And then plan the landing too. So plan so that you land and then I always like to do a half a heel turn followed by a half a toe turn. So you're not killing all of your speed in one turn. So you're splitting it up into 2 or 3 turns. All right. Alec B wants to know, yo Kevin, can I buy goggles before buying a helmet because of the fit? That's interesting. They both need to fit differently, and I feel like helmets and goggles are fitting together better and better. Excuse me, guys. So for myself, I think you need to nail the fit of both. It's hard to buy one. If you can buy them both at the same time, that's the ideal situation. But I would say the more important thing to have the good fit is first I would get the goggles first, because you want to be able to know that you can see properly when you're riding. So get that solid pair of goggles that fit properly, and then once you have the goggles, then find the helmet that can fit with that. Yeah, it should be all good, but. Definitely, I would go for the goggles first and then get the helmet. Daniel Z wants to know, New Zealand as the next stop. David is able to snowboard again. Yeah, I would love to. I've been checking out David's videos as well, and he's been snowboarding down in Cardrona. Would love to get down there, but unfortunately, New Zealand is closed for everyone that's not from New Zealand or Australia. So New Zealand has shut their borders to everyone, so I can't go snowboarding in New Zealand. I would definitely be heading down there if I could. Yeah, it looks like David's having a blast, but not this. I don't think I won't be down there this season. Definitely next year though. Jacob wants to know, what do you think of the Evil Twin 2020? So the Battalion Evil Twin, sort of like a park board from Battalion. I rode it a bit last year, kind of like this time last year, and I'm not a crazy fan of Battalion boards for the park because of Battalion's 3BT, the spoon shape and the nose and tail. It makes it feel like a very loose riding snowboard, and just too loose for me. So on approaches for jumps or for a tube or rail, I feel like the 3BT of Battalion makes it too there's just not enough control for me. On the other side, you do get it's less catchy, so you're not gonna find yourself catching edges as much. But for me, it just felt too loose and too much of a playful board. So I think a really fun board for butters and for like really quick turns and like just having fun maybe on the resort. But for me personally, like I don't like it in the park. But it could be a really fun butter snowboard. So if you like doing butters, then the Evil Twin could be the way to go. Owen saying, so close to 500K, man. Keep working hard. Awesome. Thanks so much, Owen. Yeah, it's getting close. Chafik wants to know, what about the resort in Japan? What about it? Yeah, would love to get back to Japan, hopefully this January again. Been looking at some other places to possibly go in Japan. So we've been to Niseko the last 2 years, went to Hakuba the year before that, 3 years ago. And then this year we're thinking of maybe switching it up, maybe going to a new resort. So there's a place we've been looking into, it's called Miyoko. So we've been researching that a bit. But yeah, Japan has been the go-to every January, so trying to learn more about where to go and maybe try someplace different than Niseko, but we'll see what happens. Ian wants to know, where will you be in Austria? So in Austria, the resort that's opening, I think it's actually opening now with the terrain park, is called Hintertux. So it's in the Tux region of Austria, and Hintertux is like known for having a terrain park open early October, or like officially it's open October 1st, but on their Instagram you can already see people hitting jumps. So I think it's already open. So the plan is to be there for the first couple weeks, or maybe even all of October. We'll see what happens, and yeah, we're gonna be hopefully meeting up with Janice Spiteri in Hintertux as well, and have some other friends come down to ride. So the plan at the moment is Hintertux. There's a glacier there, the elevation is really high, and they do a really good park setup. So yeah, hopefully we'll be there from like October 1st until 2 or 3 weeks afterwards. We'll see what happens. Zach saying, just bought my first Icon Pass. Can't wait for this season. Going to be safe, but I'm not going to let limitations limit my time on the hills. Awesome, man. That's a good attitude. Awesome, man. Congrats, Zach, on the new Icon Pass. Andreas is on here. What's up, Andreas? I miss you, man. Hope you're doing well in Whistler. Andreas says, dude, man, bro. Word is they are changing the battery again for the 9, GoPro 9. Awesome. Much bigger, apparently. Hopefully that helps in the cold. Yeah, so apparently the battery is going to be 40% bigger on the GoPro 9. So the GoPro 8 at the moment, if it's winter and I'm taking the GoPro onto the mountain, I usually have 6 or 7 batteries with me for the GoPro 8. And I believe that I can't remember the exact ampage of the battery, but it's something like, it's going from about 1200 milliamps on the GoPro 8 to like 1700 milliamps on the GoPro 9. I think I'm saying that right. If anyone's an electrician out there and knows the ampage and everything, let me know. But I believe the batteries are going to be 40% bigger. So that's, yeah, maybe now. So I guess if it was like an hour's battery life, it's going to be like an hour and a half. But yeah, we'll see. The cold really does suck the battery life. So yeah, bigger battery, I think that's a really good call. So that's huge on the GoPro 9, having that bigger capacity in the battery, especially for snowboarding, especially for us, it's really going to help. Zach saying with a rule update, says East Coast of Canada hasn't adopted reservations yet. I don't know if they will. All right, cool, Zach. Thanks for letting us know, man. Keep us posted. Yeah, if anyone has any information about the new rules for the upcoming season, it'd be great to hear in the chat. I feel like this live chat is not, it's not only a great way to just like hang out, talk to you guys and answer some questions, but also to get notified on anything that you guys discover about the new rules for the season. And then also to talk about, like, I guess, current events, because with things happening in the snowboard world with new rules as they come out, it's cool to kind of catch up on about it on here. And then also just recently with the new GoPro 9 stuff being leaked, it's fun to talk to you guys about that on here as well. So yeah, it's kind of a bit of everything: Hangout, Q&A, current events, and yeah, just hearing feedback from you guys as well. Also, if you guys have any video requests too, let me know. If you guys have any tutorials or any video requests at all, definitely hit me up. And Bad Rider's saying, I hope they put some thermal shielding in the battery portion of the GoPro 9. Yeah, something to help keep it from the elements, like the cold would definitely help. Sam saying, I am the bot police. I control all the bots in your comments section. Awesome, man. Yeah, somebody's been flooding the YouTube comments with bots the last couple videos. So yeah, I've been banning like hundreds of bot posts. But yeah, any help is appreciated. Mac is listening to this and not school. Oh no, Mac, you gotta listen to school, man. Daniel Z says, do you think we will get more POW runs because they cap the number of people going on the mountains this season? Yeah, I guess it kind of depends. That's possible. So yeah, it's gonna depend. I guess if they're gonna cap the number of people, but then capping the number of people may mean that you get capped, that you may be the one having to stay home because there wasn't enough space on the resort for you that day. So that would be the only trade-off, I think. So if you do reserve and you get a spot, then maybe the mountain will be less busy because of less people in the chair. But then if there's less people in the chair, does that mean you're going to be spending more time in line? So maybe there'll be less people on the runs, but you may also be spending more time in line. And on top of that, you may not get the reservation and you may be stuck at home. The one thing I was thinking about is that if you work for the resort or if you work in the town, and this is something that used to happen to me all the time when I worked in Whistler in the snowboard school, is that sometimes there's no work for you, so they send you home. So on those days, those are like the perfect days to go snowboarding. But does that mean, so that means that everyone in the town who's working, who's really there to snowboard or ski or whatever, so if you're in Whistler, for example, to ski or snowboard for the season, and you're scheduled to work 5 days, but if you show up for your shift and you get sent home, but you didn't reserve the night before to go snowboarding, then you're stuck and you just have to go home, I'm assuming. That would be a real pain for a lot of people, I think. So yeah, that's like one major issue I see with the reservation system, is that it could affect the people working and running the mountain and the town in a really negative way, with people just getting the day off, surprisingly. So you don't get any money, you don't get to work, and then you also don't get to go snowboarding. So that would be a real bummer for those people. So hopefully I don't know how they would fix that, but we'll see if that problem happens. If anyone, maybe some people from Australia who have worked for the resort, if they have any feedback about how that process happened, that'd be cool to hear. Mike Chan wants to know, the Volcoms were the ones you wore in Japan. So yeah, I guess I've been to Japan 3 years. This past year, I wasn't wearing Volcom bibs. I was wearing Volcom just pants. And I believe the year before they were bibs. I can't remember though, but yeah, 2 years ago in Japan, they were bibs. Fireblade69 saying, due to old age and bending issues, I've invested in some step-ons. Any tips on getting new boots broken in? I think the easiest way, and it's pretty basic, is just to wear them around the house. Like, wear them around as much as you can, breaking them in, maybe even go for a walk somewhere. But yeah, just breaking them in that way. What else can you do? Like, I don't know. There's not a ton you can do with snowboard boots. The best thing is always just to wear them, like while snowboarding. And the one thing I find with snowboard boots nowadays is that typically they do break in fairly quickly. So as long as they're good boots for your feet, like as long as they don't hurt your feet already, then you should have no issues once the season starts. But yeah, I feel like the real truth of it is that you do just have to break them in while you're wearing them. But yeah, hope you have fun on the step-ons. They look cool. I definitely want to try the step-on some more this year. George says, I want to buy a Scott Stevens 2018 snowboard 155, but my shoe size is 10.5 to 11. Will it be okay, or will I experience problems? Also, are your hats delivered in the EU? Because I want one really bad. Thanks, man. So I think the beanies are all sold out, but we're going to be getting some this fall, so we'll keep you posted. And I would say if your boot size is 10.5, you might be able to get away with it, but 11, that's getting close. I would say with that size feet, I would recommend a wide board for sure. 10.5 to 11, I feel like you don't want to mess around with that heel and toe drag, so just go for the wide version. And if you can't get the 2018 in wide, check out the 2021 Scott Stevens. It looks amazing. And if they get it in wide, I think that would be the best. Mem wants to know, what's the best snowboard for high speed and carving and powder and less edge catchy like regular camber? Yeah, I've been a big fan of the Libtech Orca for high speeds, carving, powder, all three of those. And it is less catchy because it's Libtech's, I think it's C2X profile. So it's got the rocker between the feet, camber underneath, and then rocker towards the tips, making it, and it's also got magnet traction. So good for high speeds, but not like overly catchy. It's got that little bit of forgiveness to it because of the rocker. And if you don't like the Orca, there's like a whole line of boards. Check out also like some Never Summer boards too. They have a very similar profile. But yeah, the Libtech ones and also the GNUs are pretty awesome for that. Lambert says, hi Kev, which boots do you suggest for me for the Orca? I have Falcor bindings. DC Travis Rice, question mark, others, question mark. Yeah, for boots, it's a tough call because it's all about comfort for boots and not having that foot pain. So I would try some boots on and just make sure you don't have any like weird pressure points in your boot and no pain. But yeah, the boots, my favorite boots the last couple of years and that I've ridden with the Orcas have been the Adidas Samba and then also the Vans High Standard Pro. Those two boots I feel like have been very comfortable for me and I've worked really well. The Adidas Sambas are probably a bit stiffer, so I would try those on and see if they're comfortable for you. But yeah, definitely recommend those. And we have Mina Popat says, hi Kevin, Portuguese heat keeping you happy? We miss you both. Oh, thanks Mina, I miss you guys too, and Jill. But yeah, the heat's been good. It's been very hot here. We are yeah, enjoying the beach and the sun, getting in the water. So yeah, it's been amazing. Bit of like a summer vacation before getting back to snowboarding. It's been great. Freshly Glazed says, is Japan close to Canada? No, it's not. It's like a 10-hour flight. So from Vancouver, you have to fly over the Pacific Ocean and then get to Japan. Jacob says, any tips for an experienced skier wanting to be a snowboarder? Yeah, so my biggest tip for skiers becoming snowboarders is that in skiing, you're really like facing your whole like body and chest and everything to the bottom of the slope the entire time, where snowboarding is a little bit different. Like snowboarders are more sideways on their board, and therefore like sometimes if you're on your toe edge, your chest is actually going to be facing more towards the top of the mountain. So I think that's the biggest difference when skiers change to snowboarding, is to remember that your chest and your head aren't going to always be facing down the hill. So get used to, like, when you're on your heels, you're definitely going to be facing more towards the bottom. But then when you get onto your toes, think about having your chest facing the top of the mountain. And a good technique to help you get used to that is having your backhand over top of the tail of your snowboard, like all the time. And that'll just really help you get more like sideways and not be facing the bottom. So I think that's the biggest difference when you switch to snowboarding from skiing. Nico says, what do you think of the Capita horoscope? Yeah, I think it's a good board. It's kind of like a good beginner board all over, beginner or beginner sort of like park board. And yeah, it's nothing, it's like a lower price board. It's got like a softer flex. It's twin, so you can learn to ride switch on it. So yeah, it's like it's a good board for park, beginner to intermediate park rider, or just a beginner snowboarder in general. It's yeah, definitely a fun board. Okay, Elliot says, I can't seem to get the courage for 360s. Any vid tips? Also, how do you repair big scrapes on the base of the board? Courage for 360s. So I think for 360s, like, you don't have to take them like directly to a big jump. You can just like start by hitting side hits, doing 360s. Even like up a bank. The first place I did my threes was like just on a side bank where you can ride up, jump, spin 360, and then ride back down. So places like that are very low consequence, and you don't need to have like a lot of like courage to do them. You can just do them in a low consequence area, and that'll help to like build you up towards to where you can eventually do them on jumps. And big scrapes on the base of your board, it kind of depends. Like if it's like a big, deep, nasty scrape, then maybe just take it into like a board shop to get it repaired. I know that in the past when I've tried to fix some of my like deeper gouges, or when I've seen friends do it themselves, it always just like ends up becoming a recurring problem, and it's hard to fix snowboards yourself. At least maybe I'm just not good at it, but I find that to bring it in to somebody and like pay a little bit of money, it's usually the more like long-term fix for big scrapes. All right, just gonna scroll down a bit, guys, and get to the first super chat. Oh man, tons of questions. Holy. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, super chat from Zach. Zach, thanks for the support, man. And he sent me like a hippo who's hyped. The hype hippo. Thank you, Zach. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for the support, dude. Zach, if you have a question, let me know. Let me know as well. Dean says people in New Zealand with season passes have been really upset not being able to access the field because of reservation scenario. Wow. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, Zach, or sorry, Dean. Yeah, Dean, that's kind of like the problem that you don't want to run into for sure. So that really sucks. It is the kind of thing where like it's like making paying for your meal at a restaurant and then calling to reserve a table and then not have anything available that night, but you've already paid for it. So it's kind of frustrating when you pay up front and then you're not guaranteed the thing you pay for. So that's definitely frustrating. So yeah, I don't know what the solution is to that, but I think yeah, it could be to hopefully find some resorts that are less quiet or not buy a season pass at all and just go day by day. But yeah, that's frustrating. Sorry to hear that, Dean. Yeah, what resort was that at? Maybe let us know. Andreas saying apparently employees are exempt from the reservation system. Oh, interesting. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's like an incentive to get a job for the mountain. Um, but I guess that's only mountain employees. If you're just like working in a random restaurant in the town, you wouldn't get that benefit. But I can see that's cool. Okay, so if you're an employee of the actual resort, then you don't have to reserve and you can ride. Okay, that's cool. And Jacob saying, I will be working at Mammoth this season. As of now, they have no plans for reservations. Okay, interesting. Good to know. Yeah, that can be a deciding factor for a lot of people. What season pass they're going to get this upcoming season. So if there's no reservation, then that could be the way to go. Alexander saying Whistler Blackcomb staff doesn't have to reserve. Okay, awesome. That's cool. That's great for definitely great for the Whistler Blackcomb staff. The town, the other people in the town, that could affect them a lot, but it's good to hear that the resort staff are getting taken care of. Isaac saying, any plans to come to Washington this year? Mount Baker. Yeah, definitely. I've been meaning to get to Mount Baker for a while, and Washington. Got to go to Stevens Pass last season, and I had an amazing time riding at Stevens Pass in Washington. So we'll definitely be back to Washington at some point for sure. Such a cool place. And Dean with another update. Ski season currently on in New Zealand. We have reduced capacity at fields, face coverings on lifts at all times. Initially, you could only share a lift with your party / bubble. Okay, interesting. Thanks for the update, Dean. And Pat wants to know, does anyone know if U.S. citizens will be able to go to Whistler this year? Yeah, at the moment, the answer I think is no. I think that the border between Canada and the U.S. is still closed. And I believe that they make the announcement around the 20th of every month. So we should be finding out in about a week or so whether or not they're going to lift that Canada-U.S. border closure. So I think we're gonna have to just wait and see, but hopefully it opens before the start of the snow season. Bad Riders says, are we gonna get an updated gear vid for 2021, Kev? Yeah, definitely. Still have to put together all my 2021 snowboard gear. I've got a lot of it together so far, a few boards and a few smaller things, but still need to put together a few more pieces before I can release the 2021 video. All right, just gonna scroll down, guys. Thank you guys for all the questions. Shout out to the moderators too for keeping the chat so clean and organized. Shafik saying, I've been using my step-on for over 6 months and still uncomfortable. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, snowboard boots and the whole setup is definitely, it really sucks when you get something that's uncomfortable. So I hope you can sort it out. Maybe you can get them heat molded. But yeah, that's the tricky thing with step-ons, is that you're committed to the boots with the bindings. I know they're releasing like a few more models this year of boot to choose from to go with the step-ons, but you kind of get, you kind of have to take what you can get. There's not a ton of options. So yeah, it's really important to spend a lot of time in the boots in the store to make sure that they're comfortable. Even for me, like the times where I've had somebody like in a shop really help me to like find the perfect pair of boot with like measuring my foot, getting the right insole. Even then, like going off of somebody else's like advice, I've ended up with like the most painful boots. So you really have to feel it for yourself. So I would say go into the store and maybe pick up some new ones and like get your feet in there for a while to make sure there's no like uncomfortable areas. NCH saying, what are your thoughts on the Burton flight attendant versus the deep thinker? Would Burton get bindings be too soft for free ride? I don't get the second part of that, but the flight attendant and the deep thinker, yeah, they're very similar. Those two boards are so, and the skeleton key as well. Those boards are all like very similar. To be honest, I'm not sure what the differences are. But if anyone knows, let me know. But they're very similar snowboards, and I think the second part is you're asking, is the Burton free ride or freestyle? Oh, what binding to get for free riding? I would say like with a board like that, maybe something like the Burton Malavitas or Burton Cartels. Maybe check out those ones. Oh, Red's saying 115 people in the live chat. Hit the like button. Thanks, Reggie. Yeah, shout out to everyone for tuning in too. Thanks all the OGs for tuning in. Some new faces. Danbury says, what are your thoughts on music festivals on slopes? I plan on going to one in Val Thorens in March. Also my first time on a real slope. Awesome, Danbury. That's super fun. Yeah, live music on slopes is really fun. I don't know how much of that's going to be happening this year. I know that maybe there's a plan for it in March, and we'll just see what happens. But I could see some of those kinds of things being canceled this year. But yeah, it is really fun when it happens, and when the weather cooperates too. Sometimes in mountain towns the weather's not always the best, so if you get good weather for an outdoor concert, that's it's always really fun. In the past in Whistler, I've managed to see some a few good bands. I saw Justin Timberlake in Whistler like maybe 15 years ago, maybe a bit longer. Just randomly, it was with the Black Eyed Peas. Who else have I seen? If anyone is into like kind of like techno music, they had DJ Z Trip played a festival once. I saw Busta Rhymes a few years ago, one of my favorite rappers for sure. And who else? Nas, another famous rapper. Nas played Whistler. So yeah, it's really fun when you get festivals rolling through, especially when they're free. That's pretty fun. Rabbit hole. Who are your favorite non-snowboarding YouTubers? Uh, I don't have too many. Who do I follow that's non-snowboarding? Yeah, there's a few, but yeah, you guys wouldn't be interested. Just some other boring YouTubers, but yeah, nothing comes to mind. A lot of fellow snowboarders like Jonathan Buckhouse, yeah, David Jones, Casey Willax, all those guys. So yeah, I've been following Ginny Spiteri, so been watching a lot of those guys. Zach saying, Kev, you've helped me get things sorted out the last 2 seasons. If I had a question, it would be how often Avi courses are running and what's the difference in between level 1 and level 2? To be honest, I'm not sure what the level 1 and 2 is. It's just going to be more basic in level 1 and then more advanced in level 2. But yeah, they usually run them. It depends on the resort, but in Whistler, BC, there's like multiple courses like every weekend. I remember, especially early in the season, there's just like dozens of courses happening. So wherever you are, I'm sure there's a few courses at a local resort. So maybe, yeah, look into it. They should be happening all the time. And I think even if there's no course set, sometimes if you request a course to happen and you can get like other people to sign up for it, then you can actually create a course, I believe. But yeah, maybe look into that. There should be lots of courses, but if there isn't one, see if you can get enough people together to actually organize a course. Aaron says, got a job at Breck starting in November, and yeah, they told me we didn't have to make reservations. Awesome. Super stoked to move out to Colorado. That's great, Aaron. Yeah, that's huge to know because that's one of the best things about getting a day off is being able to go snowboarding. So that's great to hear. Shredgoon TV saying Copper Mountain is doing parking reservations only. Um, okay, cool. So I guess that is one way of creating a reservation system is that if the parking lot, if you don't get a reserved parking spot, then you can't go. What about people that get dropped off at the mountain? Does that mean that they can't go if they don't have a parking space? How's that going to work? Zach saying that impact shorts are key. Yeah, definitely. If anyone's out there starting snowboarding, safety gear is definitely the way to start. Helmet, wrist guards, I would say for beginners, and also impact shorts to protect your tailbone. That's huge. One more thing I wanted to mention about the new GoPro 9 that I did see. They have like a third version of the Hyper Smooth coming out. So the GoPro 8 has Hyper Smoothing version 2. And I think it was the GoPro 7 had the first version of the Hyper Smooth version 1, I believe. So version 3 should be cool to see that coming out in the 9. The other thing that they're coming out with is 5K in the GoPro 9. So even better video quality if you do go up to 5K. And also for photos, I believe it was going up to 20 megapixels photo quality. So some improvements all around on the GoPro 9. I would say, in my opinion, like for most people, the GoPro 8 is like, to me, like the pinnacle, like the perfect action camera. It's pretty amazing. I would definitely recommend it to anyone who's wants to film casually with their GoPro. I'll be picking up the GoPro 9 just because I make like so many videos with the GoPro. It's always worth it for me to have the latest. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I feel like it's something, a lot of times when they come out with the newest GoPro, you can't imagine it getting much better, and then they figure out a way to do it. And also, yeah, the front facing screen, I believe, is going to be a color like screen as well. So that'll be interesting. I'm pretty sure that's going to happen. So having that front facing screen will actually be pretty cool if you're doing any like filming yourself. So yeah, the GoPro 9, definitely some cool stuff coming out for it. And I think it's going to be like the same price as the GoPro 8. But yeah, if you're looking to save some money on the GoPro, I'd say when the 9 comes out, if you can pick up the 8, I think the 8 is still like an amazing camera. But yeah, I'll definitely pick up the 9 too. It looks, yeah, just the Hyper Smooth alone, the Hyper Smooth 2 on the 8 definitely made the gimbal like obsolete in my opinion. So after I started using the 8, I stopped using the gimbal altogether. So that was, I think that was the biggest jump in quality from 7 to 8 was the Hyper Smooth. So it'd be cool to see Hyper Smooth 3 and what that does. All right, let's go to check out a few more questions. We got some super chats, at least one more super chat somewhere. A Million Pop Off with the super chat saying testing. Awesome, awesome, A Million. Appreciate it, man. Hope you're doing well. Miss you, man. Fireblades69 saying don't care about the message. This is a thank you. Awesome, Fireblade. Appreciate the support. £4.99, I believe. So you must be in England, but yeah, Fireblade, appreciate it. This Sasaki Squad saying, I'm not sure if you saw my email. Big Snow is interested in hosting you if you want to check out the indoor place in New Jersey once the travel bans are lifted. They reopen September 1st. I've been 6 times. Awesome. Cool. Thanks. I haven't checked my email much lately. I've been kind of on a mini vacation, but I'll definitely check it out. Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you so much for the email. Yeah, we'll check that out. Thank you, the Sasky Squad. And AAD said, hey Kevin, how did the DOA, the Outsiders, and the Huck Knife compare? Just wondering since you have ridden them all. I would say the DOA and the Outsiders are probably the most similar. There's kind of like a stiffer park free ride boards. The Huck Knife is definitely the softest of the 3. So if you're more of like a beginner intermediate rider, maybe you want to do more butters, I'd say the Huck Knife is the way to go. But if you want a more precise park board, then between the DOA and the Outsiders, they're very similar, but I'd go with the Outsiders. But yeah, good question, man. Zach saying that he loves the 8. I love the GoPro 8 as well. But he says he wants the Max. Yeah, I forgot about the Max. Yeah, the GoPro Max is pretty amazing. I'll be using the GoPro Max a lot this season. Old Man Shredder with the super chat says, stoked, dropped the 6 feet ledge at the pool tonight. Awesome, man. Way to go. I saw recently, I don't know if it was on Instagram or YouTube or Facebook, but I saw you dropping into a, like off of a coping into like a skateboard like pool setup. So 6 feet ledge. Congrats, man. That's amazing. That's huge. That's scary. 6 feet is scary, man. Yeah, congrats, Martin. Score wants to know if I'm going to visit Big Bear. Yeah, Big Bear, California is definitely on the list of places to visit this year. Want to get back there. Had such a good time. Danbury Van with the super chat says, do you have any experience with this new permanent wax? It's 150 pounds, but apparently it lasts forever. Might go for it. Love the channel. Yeah, I haven't had any experience with the permanent wax. I haven't seen it around a lot, but it would definitely be something to check out. Yeah, that's interesting. Permanent wax. Yeah, maybe check out some reviews for it. And yeah, if it gets good reviews and they're not like fake reviews, then excuse me, it could be a good product. But yeah, maybe try it out, Dan, and let us know how it goes. Thanks for the support. All right. The Novocaine saying, is wakeboarding difficult, more difficult than snowboarding? Wakeboarding is, I think wakeboarding is more difficult than snowboarding. Wakeboarding is pretty tough. I think that like the water surf or the water boarding sports are the most difficult. Surfing, wakeboarding, they're all like super hard in my opinion. James wants to know, how tall is TJ? I think he's like 5'10 or 5'11. I think he's 5'11. I'll say 5'11. Sam, where's your first stop this winter? Well, Austria will be October, so I guess that's still not winter. But that, I guess maybe October is like maybe technically the start of the winter season. So I think the first like official winter stop will be Hintertux, Austria. Before that, probably a bit in Zermatt, Switzerland. So we'll be there towards the end of September. But yeah, Hintertux, Austria. And then beyond that, I don't know. Maybe November is still a mystery. We're just gonna see what opens. Oh, Zach's saying almost 100 likes too. Press the thumbs up. Yeah, we've got 99 likes. So close. Okay, we got it. 105. All right. We got Robert watching from Brisbane. Kevin Chen, favorite area of Niseko to ride. Yeah, man, it's hard to pick. I think my favorite, yeah, the favorite area is in Hanazono, and going up the chair, I can't remember the gate, but going like, I guess to the top of the pizza box chair and then out the gate up and to the right, that's like my, yeah, definitely my favorite area. And Justice Owen says, just picked up a twin pig and a war pig and Union forces and now brigades. Which bindings should I put on which board? That's a tough one. So I would put the stiffer bindings, I don't know which ones are stiffer, onto the war pig, and the twin pig, which would probably be in the park more, I would put the softer bindings on. I think that's the good call. Hunami says, what music do you listen to while snowboarding? Hello from New York City. I usually don't listen to music while snowboarding, just because I like to hear what's happening, and a lot of times I'll be making a video as well. So if I'm talking to the camera, then I can't have music playing. But if I did listen to music, it'd probably be some kind of like hip hop music. I really like the actually an artist from New York City, Action Bronson. So I'm a big fan of his. So I'd probably be listening to Action Bronson. So maybe maybe if I'm not making a video, I'll put some of that on. All right. Awesome. Let's do a couple more questions. Let me just make sure we've covered everything. So Yeah, big shout out to everyone giving some updates on some of the new rules. I feel like, yeah, one thing it's really good to know is that staff who work for the mountain will be able to go riding without a reservation. That's actually, yeah, if you're not at a Vail resort or working somewhere like Whistler, maybe that's a good thing to check up on too, that if it is going to be your day off, that you'll be able to go riding and not have to like miss out on a day because of not reserving. But yeah, it's also been good to hear from some feedback from people who have been saying that yeah, not being able to use all of their seasons pass, like not being able to use their seasons pass as much as they wanted to because of the reservation system. So something to consider for where you're buying your pass. And yeah, with the GoPro 9 as well, good to know that the battery size is going to be larger, because with the 8, it was definitely a bit of a, I guess, pain to bring up like 6 or 7 batteries to film snowboarding. And Marius with the super chat says, yep, Hintertuck's already got 6 days of riding. Oh, Marius, yeah, so I guess Hintertuck's is open. Marius, has the park been open for 6 days as well? Because that's amazing. Let us know. How's it been, Marius? How's Hintertuck's been? And Christopher wants to know, anyone know if Big Bear would have a reservation system? Yeah, I guess like checking the website would be the first thing to do. But maybe, yeah, some places may have not released their plans yet. Austin saying, yo, I'm pretty good at snowboarding, but could I maybe please get a free new snowboard? I don't know. I don't have too many snowboards to give away. If you're in Whistler, maybe I would give you a board, but at the moment I don't have any snowboards with me, so maybe, yeah, you have to ask somebody else, Austin. Mary is saying, I'm a new park rider, but it's open since Saturday. Awesome, man. Can't wait to check it out. Bad Rider saying, we all want a new snowboard. That's true. Elliot wants to know, I'm 14 and curious if it would be a good idea to coach other kids. If so, any tips? Elliot, yeah, definitely, man. So if you're interested in coaching or being an instructor, I think, yeah, 14, 15, that's like a good age to start doing it. I'm not sure how old you have to be to become a certified like instructor, but I can remember like there was a few snowboarders who were kind of like, I guess, like assistant coaches, who were helping to to coach a team or to be like an assistant instructor, who like, even though they're a bit too young, they were still like involved in the process. So yeah, I would definitely, if you're interested in it, look into taking the course. I don't know if there's like an age limit on the course, but yeah, if they let you take it, definitely go for it. And yeah, I think at 14 you'll probably start by teaching like younger kids. So maybe like, I guess sometimes snowboarders start when they're like 6, 7 years old. So maybe you'll be teaching kids who in that 6 to 8-year-old range. And then as you get more experience, you may be teaching like older kids. So I would definitely, if you're interested in it, definitely pursue it. Look up your local resort, look up if you can take the course, and yeah, maybe inquire if they'll hire you. I think it probably just depends on what the like legal stuff is around hiring people, and like what the minimum age would be. I think I got my first job when I can't remember if I was 15 or 16, but at 15, maybe 15 sounds like more likely that that they would hire you. But yeah, you can start now. Start learning about how to coach. Maybe get a book if you can on teaching snowboarding. Check out some of the videos because there's some info on there. But yeah, when you start teaching too, it's like there's so much to learn. So just take your time like absorbing it, because there's a ton of stuff to learn in teaching snowboarding. But just like share with people the stuff that you know and the stuff that's helped you. And I would say like sometimes it can be stressful if you think you have to know everything. But just remind yourself that you don't have to know like everything about snowboarding. So if you have a student and they ask you a question and you don't know the answer, don't be afraid to say that you don't know. And yeah, just pass on what you do know and just try to keep learning as much as possible. But yeah, good luck with it, man. And yeah, hope you can pursue it and become a snowboard coach or instructor. Awesome, guys. So just over the 1 hour mark here on the Snowboard live chat. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Big shout out to everyone who liked the video and for everyone that supported with a super chat. Really appreciate it, guys. And yeah, let's keep this rolling. I'll be on here next week. If you guys want to tune in then, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to get notified when we go live next week. But yeah, thanks again. Thanks to all the moderators. It's been a blast talking to you guys. Shout out to Andreas Schubert. If you guys haven't yet, subscribe here, and also check out Andreas's YouTube channel. And yeah, guys, I'll talk to you guys on here next week. Later, guys.